So we're going to look at multiplication by a power of 10. It's kind of long to write out here. Okay, so what I'm talking about is something like this. Say that you have 4.272 times 100. And so there's kind of two ways to do this. And again, like I've said on the other decimal videos, please, please, please feel free to just punch this into your calculator. You do not have to do it by hand. But understanding some of what happens by hand here, especially in this type of problem, could actually get you an answer faster than punching it into your calculator. So like I've done on other decimal problems, let's rewrite it vertically. So this would be 4.272 and then times 100. And so if you remember about multiplying, what we're going to do is we're going to take each of these numbers. We'll start with this 0. We're going to multiply it times each of these. Then we'll go to this 0, multiply it times each of these. Then we'll go to the 1 and multiply it times each of these. So if we do that, if we look at this first 0, so 0 times 2 is 0, 0 times 7 is 0, 0 times 2 is 0, 0 times 4 is 0. If I look at this 0, so remember this is in the second place, so just like when you're multiplying whole numbers, we're going to move in one slot. So 0 times 2 is 0, 0 times 7 is 0, 0 times 2 is 0, 0 times 4 is 0. And then finally, if I pick another color here, so maybe I'll pick blue. If I look at 1, again, I'm going to move in one more spot, so I'm underneath. So 1 times 2 is 2, 1 times 7 is 7, 1 times 2 is 2, 1 times 4 is 4. And then we're going to add all those pieces together, right? So I've got a 0, I've got another 0, this first 0 came down, this one came down here. Then we've got a 2, whoops, not a 4, wrote the wrong thing there. So, and it kind of lost my 2. Okay, 7, 2, and then 4. And then if you look here, there was a grand total between these two numbers of these 3 decimal places. So my decimal point is going to start all the way over here. It's going to move over 1, 2, 3 places. So it's going to end up right here. So it's going to be at 427.2. So the answer to this is 427.2. Now, if you notice, there were 2 zeros here, and this decimal point, when I multiplied times the 100, all it does is move 2 places to the right. And that's how I got 4 here, the 427.2. So a quick way to multiply by a power of 10 is to just move the decimal point. So for example, if I had, we'll do another example, but this time I won't do the long way, we'll do it the quick way. So if I had 7.234 times 1,000, so there are 3 zeros here, so I'm going to move this decimal point 1, 2, 3 spots. It's going to go right there. So my answer is going to be 7234. And I don't have to write the decimal point because there's nothing after it. So this is kind of a quick way to multiply by a power of 10. And it works even if you don't think there's enough places to move the number. So let's say I had 1.3 times, let's say, 10,000. So if I look at this, there's 4 zeros. So this decimal point's going to move 1. Now you might go, oh no, Dr. Gorman, I'm in trouble. But you're not, so just keep moving. So we moved once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. So that's where my decimal place is going to go. And I need to fill in these little blank spaces here with zeros. So my final answer is going to be 1, 3, 1 with 3 zeros. And then that's where that decimal point would go. But again, you don't have to write that decimal point there. So this would turn out to be, I'll put a comma in there, 13,000. So it's just a quick way to multiply powers of 10, which could be faster than your calculator, But again, you're totally allowed to use a calculator. So if you want to use a calculator for it, definitely go for it.